This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza, sliceonbroadway.com. And listeners like you, support this show at patreon.com/awesomecast.
Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
I'm getting awesome, you're getting awesome, we're getting awesome, yeah, that's what I said now. I'm getting awesome, you're getting awesome, we're getting awesome, yeah, that's what I said.
Hey guys, it's time to get geeky, get techie. It is the AwesomeCast. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitters here in the wonderful Sorgatron Media Studios in the Beachview neighborhood of Pittsburgh, PA. Video producer, podcaster, and the like. And we got a crew. We got the crew with us. Our regular co-host today. First of all, from Studio C, John Chilla is joining us. Home office emoticon queued.
I didn't have a home office emoticon, or emoji, so I had to just put brackets and say insert home office emoji here. But yes, joining you from the wonderful land of Dormont, high above towering over Mount Washington, enjoying the first day of spring / snow whatever.
Still winter. Of course. And of course, Gadget Guru with Big Bank International Esquire. Also with us back in studio is Katie Dudders.
Hi.
Oh, no, there it is. There is your name.
I'm John.
Yes, Director of Sales and Marketing with The Scare House.
I am scary.
And of course, I gave some great podcasts going on. I saw the one with your props person went up last week.
Yeah, and there'll be a new one this Thursday too with Scott and I.
And follow her on Instagram so you know how to clean a scary baby mask.
Yep. I teach people things.
Yes. Very educational. Thank you for joining us. This is, of course, the AwesomeCast. You can join us, of course, at awesomecast.com, Facebook, AwesomeCast, and, of course, the Twitter. You can subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Google Music Podcasts, and video versions on the YouTube and Facebook page for AwesomeCast. And on that Facebook page, you can join us live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And keep an eye out on awesomecast.com and a lot of those for the Awesome Chat, a great interview series that we're doing now every other week. Try and keep on that. At least it's a little consistency for you guys out there. We got some great conversations, including Karen Alexander, who just won Social Justice Innovation Weekend. We put that up this past Thursday, and there might be a fun, different version that we might be posting here in the near future. I was working on today. Still working with those 360 tools in Final Cut Pro X and getting used to those myself. Also, we're streaming live. We're restreamed over on riversedgepgh.com Saturdays at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. And of course, I just got to hang out with them on Sunday night who I'm trying to remember who posted. I think it was a man. No. It was Laura. It was actually Laura's Beat Saber, the lightsaber music game we were talking about in VR last week. I brought that to them for us to talk about. They had a full crowd in there on Sunday night. So check out River Talk over there at riversedgepgh.com, the Sunday show, to see how that went. And we also talked a little bit about AI cars a little bit too. So since that's in the news lately. And also we're restreamed at the405media.com weekdays at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. If you want to catch up with the show there. If you want to be part of our audience, hit us up, AwesomeCast at sorgatronmedia.com. We'll save a seat for you. We'd like to have some audience in here. We definitely encourage that since we do have the space, and there might be some pizza around. And of course, if you're looking to advertise, check us out, AwesomeCast at sorgatronmedia.com. A lot of people listening, and maybe some new people this week, and we'll get to that in a little bit. Thank you to our Patreon supporters, patreon.com/awesomecast. A couple guys there supporting us, helping us keep the lights on here in the studio, including at the Coffee Club $5 level. They're going to get an AwesomeCast Gold this week, where we talk a little bit about the Xbox. Some of the stuff we're doing with the Xbox here in the studio. Some stuff I'm going to now try, thanks to Chilla, to make it the ultimate casting solution, apparently. And what else did we talk about, Chilla? There was something else we got into a little bit. As well.
Video capture, the Xbox,
Video capture,
Games
the Xbox.
Gold.
Yeah, a little bit of that, a little bit of gaming stuff. I think we're gonna have a few stories about that today. And also, thanks to our fan of the show, dollar level, Mike Fedor, Mike Fedor Show on the Twitter. Thanks again on Patreon.com/AwesomeCast. You guys can support the show. You can get some inside dirt on what's going on with the AwesomeCast on the higher levels. And as the executive producer, you can get some business cards and stuff. And also, let us know what are some perks you'd like to see with the Patreon as well. Hit us up on our social media and let us know what would get you to donate to the AwesomeCast that we can give you as part of the show. And so let's get into our awesome things of the week. Katie, what's yours first?
I don't remember. Hold on.
Something about YouTube live streaming, no encoder needed?
Yeah, you could totally just go onto YouTube now and just live stream on your channel without having to do anything fancy. They even give you, I think this is one of my favorite parts, is like right when you start it, it says, essentially, it's like smile for your thumbnail.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you've ever done a live video, they always pick the most atrocious photo ever from the video, like a little snap of your video, where they're like, oh, your eyes half closed and half opened, or your mouth is funky or something. Then that's always the one they pick. But you get to pick it. It's like the first thing. You smile, and then that's the thumbnail for your video.
This is kind of the battle, because Facebook is doing some stuff where you can do the stream live from your computer and do a little bit more with it, right? I think we're hopefully testing this week so they can do some of the shows while I'm out of town. Like the idea that you probably see it on the phone when you do Facebook Live, like, hey, here's a friend, you can bring them into the call, right? And I think that more of those are kind of happening as well. So I think this is kind of fighting back a little bit there. But I mean, I'm always iffy because they're starting to do like they're doing like friends and connections over on YouTube now, but I think it's a little too late.
Yeah, it's like they're kind of trying to get on. Even like we've talked about it. We keep talking about Instagram. Even Instagram has it where you can bring in a friend for your videos. For your live videos. That's right. And but yeah, so I mean, pretty much everybody is doing that now, where you can have your buddies.
I've been wondering though, because I've been seeing this. You know how it is when you have too many accounts and like half of them roll over to the new version. So I get that upload or start video kind of button like they're showing here on the video.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, I should play with that. But man, I got some. It's always the accounts where it's a client, and I have to get done whatever I'm in the middle of right then, right?
Yep. It's never the fun ones where you're like, I can actually do this.
Oh wait, this is the mess around account. I can completely do it here. Yeah. No. Or I'm not on the computer with a webcam or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, this is supposed to be pretty easy to do, and you can talk to interact with people like on every other platform.
Are you looking at? I think YouTube also does a phone Facebook Live-ish kind of thing as well, right? Are you looking to play with that as part of maybe Scarehouse or?
Yeah, we've never done that with YouTube. We've always done it with just the Facebooks, but we've never tried it with YouTube. And
You'd be curious because I mean, none of my accounts have equivalent followers on YouTube, so the audience isn't there. But you know, with Scarehouse, you guys have such ridiculous numbers subscribed to your YouTube channel. I'd be curious to see if you did a similar thing across the two platforms, what that interaction would look like.
I believe I leave tomorrow morning for a haunted house convention in St. Louis, so this might be a good opportunity for Scott and myself to try this out.
Some experimentation. Yeah. You could do some like literal side by side. Here, let me borrow your phone real quick.
One of us to be on the YouTube channel, one of us to be on the Facebook.
So either way, it's going to be a lot of fun to follow Scarehouse over the next few days.
Yeah, especially on Instagram, because that'll be all me. I'm like, look at this thing.
It'll be this thing, part of your face, something with socks, and moving on. All right, Sheila, what is your awesome thing?
Just real quick on that topic, that you need to create some kind of multi-rig where it's like 3 devices where you could stream to 3 services simultaneously from like, it's like a selfie stick, but it's like the Hydra.
But the phone. So this solution is, one, you need multiple phones, you need multiple accounts. That needs to happen. And you can get these, because I was looking at these for putting a camera, and then I want to separate the Zoom recorders that we use. Because with the Canons, you need to kind of use both of them if you want to do something significant like a hand mic or something. So I need something where it connects both of those, so you can completely get those dual plated kind of things on a tripod. And I don't see why you can't get like an iPhone connector to attach that as well. So no, that is completely doable, Chilla, and don't tempt me.
See, Chilla, if you would have been in the studio for whenever we recorded the Q&A for Scarehouse this past weekend, we had Facebook. Sorg was streaming the Facebook Live. I literally was holding my phone and we were Instagram Live too. So I mean, we just could have Missy set up on the on the other angle. We could have YouTube
Yeah,
going.
we probably could have. I think we did say, like, well, we should probably attach this to a Gorilla Pod and to your, or something. And I forget why we didn't, but anyways, Chilla, what's your awesome thing of the week?
So my thing isn't necessarily a thing as much as it is an app, and actually it's two apps. One of the things that I've been doing a lot in my personal time as well as for work is sketching up a lot of plans. I don't know if you do this when you're going into a shoot or trying to figure something out. I use a whiteboard a lot at work, but I find myself away from my desk more and more and not necessarily in a conference room. So I've been wanting decent apps that allow me to kind of quickly sketch out a network diagram or kind of convey what I think a conference room layout should look like. And I'm still looking for that perfect app. And the two apps, I've played around with Microsoft OneNote. I've played around with numerous sketch apps, Paper by 53. They're not getting me exactly where I want to be. And it seems like those ones are more positioned as, hey, do you want to draw a picture kind of thing? There's plenty of ones that are like the Photoshop drawing app of choice. This is, I want to be able to sketch something out, but I'm not trying to replicate like a drawing of a house or anything. So the first one I found is Concepts. It's the first link in the doc there. It's the one I've been playing around the most because it's the one I honestly found first. Concepts does a really nice job. I really like the screen layout. It has a simple tool up in the upper left. You can adjust the paper size. You can do multiple layers. It has a phone app. The one thing I will say about Concepts that I've noticed is you can get it for free, but if you want to be able to do some of the neater things, you have to pay a minor amount of money. I think I paid like $2 or $3 for some of the baseline tools. You can actually kind of create your own like pencils and pens where it kind of has line weight and all kinds of additional stuff. Or brushes, I guess would be a better word for it. You can create, you can pay for upgrades to that. You can also pay an upgrade to Pro where it allows you to export into more file formats. It'll actually, for whatever I paid for it, I know I can actually export right to Photoshop, which I thought was nice. I'm really liking the layout and how I can use the app. The other application I found, it's the second link in the doc. It's called Linea Sketch 2.0. What drew my attention to this is that it supports split view drag and drop for iOS. These are both iOS iPad apps. I downloaded Linea today. It does come at a cost. I think was $9.99. They just came out with version 2. The article $4.99 for customers. That's 50% off the usual price. The one thing I liked about this application was you could kind of create layers and resize things on. Like you could take a portion of the picture, draw around like whatever you had put on there and like resize that whole section. I thought that was kind of cool. So if you were like messing around with the floor layout and you had a table here and chairs there and you wanted to make the table bigger, instead of erasing the table and drawing a new square there, you could actually kind of drag a circle around that area and resize it kind of on the fly. I thought that was kind of a neat feature without resizing other layers and other objects. You can import pictures. You can do a bunch of stuff. To me, it seems like the Linea allows for a multitude of things, different paper types. That's the other thing that I was looking for was I want to be able to have a blank piece of paper, virtual piece of paper. I want lined paper. I want grid paper. I want it all. But I also don't want something where I have to pay a subscription for it. I think that's a bit ridiculous. So both these applications have kind of a freemium mode or they're pay once. The Concepts app does have a subscription if you want to use some kind of their cloud synchronization service or something like that. I wasn't interested in it, so I didn't pay any mind. The other thing that I was playing around with is if you don't have an iPad Pro with an Apple Pencil, these work with a number of styluses. They work with your finger. They work with pretty much anything you can get your hands on. So pretty impressed with both applications so far, and I'll probably give an update a month out as to what I end up with as my daily kind of virtual notepad going forward.
Nice. Some good options. And there's been a few of these. And I know you're usually looking at these, right?
Mm-hmm.
So good to see a few more passing through there. Looked interesting. I got confused because the video I was showing like ended up like, playing Portal, and I guess it's some kind of like computer streamer kind of thing. So, but anyways, speaking of games, we were talking about a little bit. I don't know. I'm just having one of those weeks where I'm just like re-attacking video games because I realize I need to take a rest. So that's where I'm at. But anyways, there's one that I've particularly liked lately. Been having a lot of fun with. I'm going to pull it up here on the screen for you from my phone. It's Playdead's Inside. Playdead may sound familiar to you, and it's another game that I was super addicted to called Limbo, which, as my wife says, the one with the creepy kid and the spider. So, and it's kind of a very similar thing, and I've been playing I played through the demo, and I'm definitely going to pick this up in a little bit. And I'll tell you why I've been getting into these kinds of games lately. But again, very simple. I actually started playing this on the Apple TV and just looked magnificent on a 42-inch television. So again, you're just walking. It's a 2D kind of scroller thing. It's actually in color this time if you're familiar with Limbo. And you go through, and it's just beautifully animated. You know, there's climbing over things and interacting with things, and you kind of have to figure out puzzles as you travel through this thing. But again, everything looks super 3D and super amazing as you're moving through the environments. And there's not really any explanation, but apparently, like, you know, you start coming across these trucks and these people with flashlights, and if you do the wrong thing, got a little bit of screensaver there. If you do the wrong thing, they'll come chasing after you and kill you. And these people, like here's the one behind the truck here. And you're sneaking by it, and people are tweeting me on my phone. So again, something simple, something fun, something kind of cool that I can kind of transfer it from playing with a controller on my Apple TV to here on my phone, you know, along the way. And if, you know, feels like a nice game. And if you're interested in it, it's available basically for everything. And here's the guys with the flashlight, and they got me. And I think they just killed me. Yep. That's yep, just a small child being just murdered. So, but no, it is available on Steam, Xbox, PS4, Origin, Humble Store. It's really just kind of everywhere at this point. So go check it out. It's at playdead.com is the company's website, and they basically have two games, Inside and Limbo, and I highly recommend Limbo as well. Just some fun game, and that's one of those few games that I did play the entire way through. And partially, maybe also partial awesome tip along with this. I don't know if this was a mindfulness thing I did, but I went through and deleted every freemium game on my phone. So the WWE Champions gem game, the Puzzle Fighter, the Injustice and the Marvel like fighting games, like anything that I needed to collect shards or gems is out. As far as I'm concerned. I mean, technically, I do kind of have some freemium games on here as far as like a Tetris game and Hearthstone, but I consider those the Pokemon Go, but you get a little bit more out of those. And if we get to it, there might be a couple cool things that I discover to it. But just in this conversation I was having with Chance Second on Twitter about like having more substantial game experiences than what those freemium games kind of have for you, and trying to, you know, make my gaming experience more fulfilling than a chore, right?
So did you put any money into those games?
The only thing that I think I've put money into is Pokemon.
Okay.
For reasons. I even deleted Pocket Camp, Animal Crossing Kitty.
Oh no.
Did you delete Mario Run?
No, because I paid for that.
Oh.
That's a purchase game.
Okay. I didn't know if you counted that. Yeah, I guess it's purchase, but you can also... Can't you buy coins and tickets?
Yeah, you can. I mean, there plenty of things that even that you purchase have sort of a freemium component to them. But if it's something where I look at them, but I've rediscovered some stuff like Scribble Knots I re-downloaded. I'm going to be playing with that, and of course stuff like Abe's or Alto's Odyssey, the sequel to Alto's Adventure, just came out, and I've been playing a lot of that too. So I went back to Monument Valley 2. I never completed. And it's not that it's a long game. Just returning to those kinds of experiences. So, they're just a little more weighted and looking at purchasable games. Because why should I complain about buying a game when it's like $7 for like Inside is $7 for the full game. I think
that's the one thing even on the Switch. I'm like waiting to find used versions of games because I don't feel like paying $60. And I do the same thing even on Xbox. It's waiting for, either more games with gold to come out to get more content for free, or waiting for different games to go on sale for at least like 25% off. That $60 price point seems steep unless I can get it at a discount. When to your point, you can get really good content on a mobile device for $8.
Absolutely, kind of changes the game for you, right? When it's so similar. Chilla, hey, this is kind of an awesome thing from Alex. He actually got to check out the OneCast app that you could that was bringing your Xbox One game streaming to the Mac. So I know he's been talking about that. I forget if he did it on Slack or on the Facebook group, but he's had some hands-on with it and says it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw his. I think he did a picture of it on the Slack. I'll be honest with you, I haven't gotten a chance to play with it, and I purposefully didn't download it because I didn't have time to make sure I could test out the trial. But it seems like he's pretty happy with it, and he commented on it in the Facebook.
Awesome. And he also said in the chat, I think is your thing with the YouTube, Katie. He's been working on a live stream setup using that YouTube Live component.
Oh, cool.
So hopefully get some more stuff from him and his properties over there. So a shout out to OccupyProWrestling.com while we're at it. So anyways, and also a shout out to our friends supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Our buddies over at Slice on Broadway supporting us, feeding the people that are coming out here for the Tuesday night podcast day. Thank you so much for those guys down here. The OG right up the tracks here in Beachview, as well as Carnegie, PA, Carnegie. I'm sorry, I had a New Yorker in my car the other day. And as well as PNC Park on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Opening day is in like a week and a half, is it? 2 weeks? 2 weeks, I think it is. As well as East End, East Liberty. Still need to get out there, but I was distracted by Indian barbecue. But thank you so much to our friends. SliceOnBroadway.com, BGH_Slice on the Twitter, and Slice on Broadway on the Instagram. Great stuff there. Great crew, at least in our location, and really good people behind that. Thank you so much, the Beachview original Slice on Broadway for supporting us. And there is Alex also wants to chime in that there is a Broadway in Long Beach. Just saying, Slice. Stay with it. You can stay with it. I was suspect of every pizza place I found in Tampa, Florida this weekend, by the way, because I'm like, what can they know about, Florida? Yeah. Anyways, with that, a little bit of a local focus. I love this. The Incline, if you guys are familiar here locally with the Incline, it's kind of I guess it's a local news blog of sorts. And they did the big list of Pittsburgh podcasts worth listening to today. And I got to give shout out to some friends of the show. A lot of people that have been featured on this show as well. First of all, Liz Victory, who's been on Fishing Without Bait, that broadcast, as well as our friends at the broadcast that record here on Sorgatron Media, were included on this list. Some other friends like the Drinking Partners, Aaron Watson, and if we go all the way down to the bottom, there's just a little bit of a more Pittsburgh podcast, and look at the top of that list is the AwesomeCast. So thank you so much to Incline for supporting us and our friends, Rosalind over there at theincline.com. You can check out the article. I believe we shared that on our social media as well. And props to our friends at both of the broadcast podcasts and Drinking Partners, and really, I think about every network. Yeah, Jack Off was mentioned here too. Every major River Talk as well podcast represented on here. So really cool to see that kind of representation happening and kind of showing off the Pittsburgh podcasting scene in this way. So, also, as I get to my next bits of notes, we had a lot of stuff contributed on the group this week, guys. Amanda Narcissi, our resident Apple expert, shared with us Camera. That's CMRA, as you spell things in the tech world. Chilla, you might be interested in this as well. It's the camera of tomorrow, today. It's basically a camera for your. It's a watch band camera for your Apple Watch. It's a dual camera band, lets you instantly capture photo and video, and they're showing like samples in here of like FaceTime and things like that. I mean, that thing seems like something that's been pretty missing from an Apple Watch up till now, right?
And I just signed up for the waiting list.
And like that.
So we saw this a while back. Samsung tried to do this with one of their first gen Gear devices. I am super interested in this technology. I'm hoping they follow through on this. Like, there's no price, obviously, with this. How it works with something like a FaceTime, I'm definitely interested in. I don't know. Please, if you're listening, camera group, CMRA, whatever you call yourselves, let me know, because I will definitely buy this.
There you go.
But I'm interested to see how it works and how well it like integrates with other applications. The one thing that will be interesting about this is I know Apple is getting much more strict about apps on the Apple Watch. And I want to say probably by the next version, there will be no more, you have to rely on the phone kind of as the guts of the app, and the app just kind of streams down to the watch. They now want all their apps to run self-sustained, obviously, because the newer watch, you can get a cellular version. So I'm interested to see how they make this work. Is it going to use that port like that's hidden underneath the watch band? Is it Bluetooth? How does it magically work?
Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting. Yeah,
But if
how
this
baked in is it going to be, right?
Yep. If this is, it says HD cameras, I'm interested in what they consider HD.
Mm-hmm.
If this is sub $500, sign me up.
Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting to see what they do with that. And is this going to be a feature? Because I feel like the Apple Watch is going to get that eventually, right? Like,
I'll be interested to see how Apple conquers it, because they seem to be going in this bezel-less direction. So how do you get a notch? Are we going to have a notch on our watch?
Oh no, not a watch, not a watch notch.
The watch notch. Are we going to have a notch on our watch? And then I like how this has two cameras, one that's kind of outward facing and one that's forward front facing, kind of just like your phone, right, for taking pictures. So I don't know.
Be interesting to see. Our friend Christopher Whitlatch, who just hosted the first game night here, which was a lot of fun, and we're looking to do another one here in April. So keep an eye on the AwesomeCast and Sorgatron Media Facebook page and for that date. But he shared with us this article, which to which my response was, okay, here come the Pokemon Go clones. Google opens up the Maps API to game developers. So it's using that API. It's using the Unity engine, which is basically what I believe Niantic made Pokemon Go out of. And, laying that over, there's a cool kind of demo video. We'll see how realistic this thing goes. Or it's kind of showing like, it's like they're pulling up Assassin's Creed in the middle of New York City or something. So it could enable a lot of things, a lot of fun things, like putting a dragon in Central Park, apparently. Or it could be just a lot more things that invade my phone that I have to delete eventually. You never know. But no, I mean, this is a really cool thing. Like, I still love, I broke out the Pokemon Go band, and even Pokemon I kind of fell out of a little bit. But it's still just fun to like be walking around and having the thing buzz and know you're catching Pokemon, like that weird, world leveling kind of thing happening there.
Haven't there been two other? I'm wondering if this is a result of haven't there been two other games announced? I think there was there's going to be like a Ghostbusters take on Pokemon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then isn't there going to be something else? I know there's always the Harry Potter keeps that floated around.
The Harry Potter. I think Niantic themselves are doing the Harry Potter one. So they'll be from the Pokemon people who'll do the Harry Potter deal. So they'll be interested to see. We've seen before like the zombie run games and things like that. I think it'd be fun to see, those kind of popping up as well. Like mix this with AR, and you could have a lot of interesting opportunities there. So, the titles such as Jurassic World Alive, The Walking Dead Our World, and Ghostbusters World will all make use of the augmented reality to create truly immersive. So those listed right here.
That was the other one that I saw. The Jurassic World Alive.
A Velociraptor pops right out of the library. It'll be great. It'll be awesome. So, anyways, by the way, shout out to our friends at Bold Sports and Bold Pittsburgh who did not make the list. We're talking in the chat room about them. We'll make some noise. We'll make sure they're on the next one for sure. But anyways, also in our local focus, let's see, that was by Chris. Let's see, a lot of game news this week. There was a cool one. This isn't anything widely available. I think it's just something somebody made where they did a Street Fighter AR. So, putting the 3D Street Fighter characters basically in, real world settings. That's kind of fun. It looks like it's a little slow maybe, but I would love for this to be an actual thing that gets released.
What would be interesting is if they could grab the image. If you could do your own backgrounds for those kinds of games, right? Take the image, it could do surface detection because that's what a lot of that has to do with, right?
Yeah, it looks pretty good with the way the shadows and the feet are kind of at.
Yeah, but let me set all the backgrounds. Like, let me go around Pittsburgh and take different pictures. Mm-hmm. So then I can use it for all the backdrops. I don't know. Do I really need the people moving in the background? I don't know. It would be interesting to put this on like Interstate 376 and have the cars.
Well, I love that. I don't know if you saw in here, they did the car smash mini game in the parking lot. So it looks like the Jeep's sitting in the spot that they're beating up. So it's a lot of fun. Again, it's just by a developer. His last name's Singh here. Again, nothing that I think you're going to see in the App Store anytime soon because it is kind of a property. This was not done by Capcom, so it's probably not going to get an official release, but it was done on iPhone. So there's some hopes for that, and maybe they'll pick that up. Also on that, Brandon, our friend out in the KC, let us know about a Sega Genesis collection for a PS4 and Xbox One announced. Once again, your childhood still lives on. And I like there's a nice comparative list on here too. Of the games versus like what they released like in 2009 for the Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection and those cool flashback consoles you can pick up at the dollar store. Again, a little bit of everything. Once again, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 not included. It looks like there's a little bit of audio issues, but the Sonic Spinball is in there. That's pretty cool.
What I was surprised that two things that they didn't come out with this. So they were quoted in this article as they're not coming out with this for the Switch.
No. But
they did do a number of these for iOS. Remember they had that collection where you could get like Kid Chameleon, Altered Beast.
I have a folder on my front page of all Sega games, just pages of Sega games. Some of them I've paid the $2 or $3 to make ads go away. And I'm still sad that most of these are not compatible with the Apple TV yet. They really should be. It makes a lot of sense, and I would be fast to drop $3 for each one of them if that happened. I just feel like they're leaving money on the table. Yeah, but also if you're on the Switch, I feel like they're going to individually release all of these games via the store over there because they already have that relationship, right? Mm-hmm. So, we talked about the Mega Man coming out in the collection over on the Switch a little bit ago. Like, surprisingly, I think they want to be a little bit more in control of their release schedule than what Nintendo is going to allow in the Switch store. So, also, Katie, why do I feel like you were a Tamagotchi person?
I did. I had one.
You
yes.
had one.
Yes.
You had one. How did that fare for you?
I'm not very good.
No,
I'd forget about it. And
you
it'd
might
die.
get another chance.
Oh, good.
Because Tamagotchi.
Redeem myself.
You can redeem yourself with Tamagotchi coming to the smartphone. It's My Tamagotchi Forever. So that sounds a little more promising.
Forever.
How did this not happen yet? Like, it feels like it was. It's there's the old Tamagotchis with the old little LCD screen and everything. I mean, I remember the Sega Dreamcast. I remember when the Sega Dreamcast had a little like Tamagotchi screen in the memory card that you could like have a Tamagotchi from the Sonic the Hedgehog game, right? So there you go. It's more than like 8 pixels wide. That's nice. That's a good. That's a nice plus right there. And you can take little AR pictures with your Tamagotchi pal, and then he becomes a real thing in your living room, apparently, according to this video. And then he gets mad. Oh, and then he poops on your carpet.
He pooped.
What?
Pooped. Oh, he's embarrassed. He's so embarrassed.
And Katie's downloading this one.
Poop.
Yep. There you go. Hatching in 2018. Tamagotchi Forever. Look for that.
To be a thing now.
Yeah. Thanks, Riz, for opening that can of worms. So
does it really last forever? Because I remember like the one that I had, you could actually like it grew up and flew away.
Really? What?
Of course yours did.
Katie,
yeah, I feel like
Katie, you didn't get that far?
No.
No.
The one I had, like, because it would reset. The one I had didn't survive, but on the next round I was able to keep it alive. But then it like, yeah, I can't remember. Like it hatched and flew away, or grew up and flew away, or something. So
I just downloaded it.
Let me know. Let us know if you kill it before the end of the show.
Yeah, I know. You get the play-by-play. A Tamagotchi pooped.
It pooped in the studio. Oh no.
Or you could pay $1 and get the classic version where it looks just like it. Forget that. I'm going to the high end.
That might be worth $1 though. Then you don't have to change the batteries, right?
Yeah, true.
That's the biggest thing. Like mine lived until the batteries died.
No.
Yeah. Anyways, hey, want to give a shout out to our friend Alex Kahrs. We mentioned one of his properties here earlier. He always contributes to the show. But check out what he's got going on over there. An avid graphic designer. We've done some work with him. He's actually done some t-shirts for us for Wrestling Mayhem Show. AlexanderKahrs.com or AlexKahrs.media. That's Kahrs. The coolest way to spell cars, by the way. He's putting together puzzle design and media from branding to print to digital projects. Alex can do logos, merchandise, websites, and even photo and video projects. Check him out again, AlexanderKahrs.com and AlexKahrs.media. Yeah, he's done a lot of stuff. He's done some DVD covers for us. He's done a lot of T-shirts for a lot of independent pro wrestlers out there as well. Some fairly significant ones, like the Fallen Kikyo. It's actually coming to the Pittsburgh area here in the coming weeks as well. It's available over ProWrestlingTees.com, which is probably the foremost place for indie pro wrestling t-shirts and of course designs with indiewrestling.us. So thank you, shout out to them. Check them out, AlexanderKahrs.com. Chilla, I know you're always kind of looking at, do you have a lot of Raspberry Pis? Have you ever gotten into a Raspberry Pi? I know you're always looking at the possibilities of them. I know.
Yes, and I'm actually there's the one Raspberry Pi that's like the mini one or the cheapest version of it. Like they now have one where you can build that and make it a Bluetooth and line in for your Apple, not AirPod, HomePod.
Mm-hmm.
So I was actually thinking about using one. I keep coming up with these ideas like, oh, if I had one, I could do this, or I could do this, or I could do this. And then it's like, I just never ordered it because I know don't have the time.
That's one of those you luck out. Whenever you do, it'll be the newest one because once again, there's the Raspberry Pi 3, I think plus, is it? Yeah, the B plus. Yeah, the grade B plus. It has a faster quad-core Broadcom CPU. It has faster Wi-Fi. It's AC. It's a little more spiffed up. Still at the nice price of $35. Still fitting that form factor for all those little plastic cases available out there on Amazon that you can pick up these days.
You had one, didn't it have an LCD screen or something on it?
It had the ability to do an LCD screen. Actually, I got one with a camera, but I think I grabbed the camera for the Raspberry Pi 2, so it wasn't compatible. So that didn't work out too well. We still have the Retro Pi here in the studio, although I don't know how much we're playing without what we have an Xbox One in here. And I have another one that I'm still kind of determining which project to put it on. I think it may just end up playing a slideshow in my window in the long run.
So what catches my interest about this, because I didn't see this article till it was in the doc today, it supports power over Ethernet.
Ooh.
Which means if you have a router that can power an endpoint device via Ethernet cable, it will actually power this device without a need for actual AC adapters.
That's actually how the pit mesh. I don't want to reach for knocking anything over, but the pit mesh, like public Wi-Fi that we have here, it runs over the power over Ethernet as well. And there's like a special plug that needs to push everything through that powers through that Ethernet, right? Yep. So that's cool. So that might be worthwhile, because then I wouldn't have to plug anything else in over here. So, right? Because
when I think about it, so you can actually buy like routers, higher end routers and hubs and switches and whatnot that do power over Ethernet out of every port by default. So think about it, you could run an entire network of webcams that are running off of Raspberry Pis, and kind of make it pretty self-sufficient.
Katie, you guys, maybe, I don't know, maybe you're not in this side of it, but I feel like Raspberry Pis are something that somebody has to be using for these props as little controllers or something, right?
I'm sure people are. We use, like in our industries, like they're called peekaboos, and there's different little kind of similar things where you make things do, and it's a lot of code and programming and coordinating lights and sounds. But
I know even seeing a little behind the scenes of what Aaron does with the escape room, seeing like, well, of course it was a little bigger than Raspberry Pi. They had a whole closet full of technology to run this thing, but I could see that like just little bits, like little tasks being used.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there are, because like I said, we're going to that convention this weekend. I think a couple of things I mentioned were there.
Keep an eye out. Then I have a mission for you.
Okay, yay!
Keep an eye out for Raspberry Pis.
I'll be looking for Pi.
Look for Pi. Like, listen, do you have Pi?
Hi, do you got Pi? Wink, wink.
This crazy lady's going all the booth asking for Pi. It's strange.
Give me your Pi.
But she only wants it in Raspberry.
Yeah. Very
Who
picky.
even likes Raspberry Pi? I don't get it. But no, it's good to see that's going forward, doing well, doing strong. Yeah, it's a really good, a nice educational tool, and just kind of fun to, do these little projects without putting a whole lot into it, right? So, but Alex is saying he was bummed his Sonic Genesis collection wasn't backward compatible. Yeah, because they want you to buy the new one. That's one thing I've noticed. Why is my Tomb Raider not backward compatible from the Xbox so I can continue playing? Because they have a new one that was available on Xbox One. So, anyways, Katie.
Yes.
No, I don't want to do that one yet.
Okay.
Waze Carpool?
I didn't even know this was a thing.
What is this?
It's okay. So essentially, Waze launched this thing called Carpool, and it was to help people essentially find other people going in the general direction.
I think I've heard something like this.
I didn't realize it was a thing. But now it's in the state of Washington. But they realized there was an issue where there was not enough roads and too many cars. So they're trying to get everybody condensed into less cars. And it's not like you pay the person you're riding in the car with, really, except for like the 54 cents per mile, essentially what you would write off in your taxes, I believe. So there's no like real paperwork or anything that needs to be filled out, like insurance things like you see with Lyft or Uber.
It's kind of more of a matchmaking service, isn't it? Well,
yes.
Like, I'm going this way, let's
be friends.
So what's the benefit to the driver other than not driving alone?
It's really looks like it's just 54 cents a mile they get. It's not really like a thing.
Or do they have streets like or roads like we have out to the North Hills where you have to have X amount of people to be able to get in certain lanes?
Could be a thing, yeah.
So then that could be a benefit, right? If you want to get in the express lane and you have to have at least 2 or 3 people in the car and it's just you use the service to find someone to drive with you. Isn't that the whole point of carpool karaoke?
Can we get our carpool karaoke going through this app, maybe? No, so it's interesting. So they do pay you that 54 cents per mile. So you are getting paid. I mean, so it is, ride to work will cost you around $1.50. I don't know if it's so much like that pays for gas even. I guess that does, doesn't it? Because that's what you can write off.
Yep.
So ideally, you would at least get the gas money out of it. By the way, just aside for any wrestling fans out there, the image they show on the sample picture here is Sasha Banks. Just saying, that's kind of interesting, but kind of cool. Kind of a different way to tackle this, and I wonder how that would. This is statewide, imagine, and of course we're talking about Seattle, which is your Amazon, Starbucks, or Redmond with Microsoft. So there's a lot of tech people that this could probably be on top of something like this.
Yeah, because if you look at it, like Chilla said, there's like somebody who's on here via HOV, so you save 8 minutes. You can do different preferences like same gender or co-workers only. So you might be working in a very large company and not realizing Bob down the hall also lives a block away from you.
Interesting.
And you could all be carpooling.
Okay. That'd be kind of cool to check out. There's no name, but I imagine this is Chilla talking about WebOS.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That seems like
No.
Katie, tell me about WebOS. What's going on? How is it still alive, Chilla? This is the thing that HP bought from BlackBerry. Was that right?
No, they didn't buy it from Black. I'm trying to think where they bought it from. They bought it from somebody. They buy it from Palm.
That's right, Palm devices. Yeah. HP's long dead Palm devices and early tablets. Yeah, but LG got a hold of it in 2013, according to the article in Engadget that you have listed here. So
yeah. Where this got me interested. So if you've seen, and I'm big on UI and user experience. If you go into a Target or you go into Best Buy or wherever you can find an LG TV, if you get a chance to play around with some of their higher end TVs, they're all running WebOS, and they're running WebOS to do services like Netflix and everything else. Samsung's taken this route with Tizen to get their app-enabled TVs kind of up and running. We see TCL has Roku. What's interesting to me is LG open sourced the WebOS, much different from the existing port of it for Open WebOS, but they have WebOS OSE open source edition.org.
Not enough letters. Definitely not enough letters, right?
Yeah. Well, it's funny because it's WebOS OSE. It's like the URL stuttered. But it's interesting because it's based on HTML5 and CSS3, has baked in multitasking support. It's based on Linux.
This is on televisions.
Yes, it's on television, but they're open sourcing it, hoping people pick it up for things like refrigerators and microwaves and anything that you would want to port a small operating system to. You could do that if cable boxes. I think it's interesting, and I hope we see, because I'm pretty impressed with the operating system overall from the way LG's done it, and I always liked it on the HP device, other than it was horrifically slow. But obviously times have changed since 2013, so I'm hoping we see this on more and more devices. Well,
how about to loop this around to what we were talking about before, and so Kitty can get her first Pi story out of this. Apparently, I found an article from the register.co.uk that says, screw luxury fridges, you can now run WebOS on your Raspberry Pi.
On your fridge.
Yeah, on your fridge, yes. But yeah, already ported to the Raspberry Pi hardware under the Apache license. So that's one place you can put it. So, cool. There's something for you to do, Chilla, because I know you love your TV interfaces.
Well, and I'm interested too if I can do power over Ethernet and somehow get the Samsung thing where I get video of the inside of my fridge, all based on a Raspberry Pi.
And it all comes together.
We saw those mirrors too. Remember those mirrors that kind of had Android running underneath the mirror that kind of gave you a heads up display when you were getting ready in the morning.
Mhm.
Same thing here.
I want to talk one more video game thing. Have you guys heard of Fortnite?
Yes.
It's kind of all
Yes.
the rage now.
Mhm.
What do you guys know about this? Because I'm just kind of diving into it. I literally played my first game of it today.
I know they did the beta and for iOS, and then it launched, and then they made like $3 million in 2 days or something like that.
Jeez, this is the thing that this is the one that breaks the rule, the proves the rule that breaks the rule of my freemium games. I did sign up. I did. I do have now a Fortnite on my Xbox and on my phone. No, I signed up for the invite last night and I got it today. So I played it, and it's cool because it's okay. So you basically drop into an island. It's kind of like if you took Minecraft and mixed it with any kind of first person. Or I think Team Fortress is an accurate depiction of this. If you guys aren't seeing the visuals. And yeah, you drop into an island. You can use your pickaxe to harvest materials. This is more fun than it sounds because this is what's kept me away from doing this, right? I played it for about 10 minutes and I'm like, okay, I could do this. And you can build walls, you can build platforms and ramps and things. Like they kind of depict in the one trailer, I don't know if this is the one where you like kind of on the fly. Here, actually, this is the part where they're building cover like on the fly basically while they're being shot at, you know. So it's a lot of fun. They basically drop 100 people on an island for this massively multiplayer, at least, you know, in session. Looks like it's a ton of fun. It does feel like it's a ton of fun. And I definitely recommend it, especially since it's free. There's nothing to keep you from it.
So how long does like a round last?
Until I die, because it's usually pretty quick. Because we have that problem where everybody's going to be better than you because it's been out for a little bit, right? So you know, going for fun. But the fun part is, and this is pointed out in our podcast, is after you die, you get to watch whoever killed you until they get killed, until they get killed, until they get killed. So now you can kind of like this whole like you can root for the person that killed you kind of thing. So, but yeah, it looks like it's a lot of fun. Again, it's on your phone, and also that it's like it's a full-fledged, you know, third-person shooter on your phone at this point. You have 6S plays fine from what I could tell so far. And of course, again, on every platform like that game earlier, on Xbox, PlayStation 4, I think Steam, or at least on the Mac, I found the Epic Games downloader. And it brought it down there. There's other versions that have more campaigns and things that are like, you know, $30, $40, $60. But you can download the Battle Royale, start playing with it. It does have that freemium model if you want like different costumes and things. You don't have a lot of selection at first, but you can also build that out. It's and also related to this, Drake apparently likes it. Because he was playing with a Twitcher named that's a weird name for a Twitcher, yes, named Ninja, and just broke all records for Twitch streams. So I guess Twitch has arrived in the mainstream now with this.
And isn't Ninja making like $50K a year or something, or $50K a month doing Twitch?
I imagine it's a month. I imagine. But no, it's interesting, and it's kind of come out of nowhere. Again, it's Epic Mega Games that you'll probably know for Unreal Tournament. I'm sure a lot of games. Basically, the Unreal Engine like probably runs half of the video games out there these days. So, but it's interesting, and maybe we'll start an AwesomeCast game server or something. Oh, Juju from the Pittsburgh Steelers was also on that stream. Yeah.
Real quick, Ninja's 26-year-old went from working in a fast food joint to making $50K a month playing video games.
Yes. Katie, you have something in there from our sponsor in the chat room.
Yeah. I just was looking around on the Instagrams, and Slice is giving away a $15 gift card.
Ooh.
So head over to their Instagram page. It's one of the posts, and all they want you to do is predict the Final Four this is basketball, the NCAA Final Four.
Oh, that thing that was tying up traffic over the weekend.
Yeah, the bouncy ball. You do that, and then you just tag a friend who should try Slice, which should be all of your friends. and you might win a $15 gift card. Do it.
There you go. Go check it out. Awesome. Katie, I think you have a story to close us off here.
Of course. You might not want to scroll down on it.
Oh, thanks for the heads up.
Yep. I did that earlier.
Oh, this is the sun. They're not afraid of...
They're not afraid of anything.
Oh, let's scroll.
Scroll.
Oh
my God.
No, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Well, it depends on what's popping up on your sides, like which articles are
on
popping
the
up on the sides.
that's popping up is very accurate for this.
Yeah, that's the word I want. So this is okay. To me, this is just interesting because it's so this article essentially, this porn star, what is your name, lady? Brett Rossi, which is a lady. She has this article where she says that PlayStation VR, well, she's one of them mentioned in the article especially, PlayStation VR will die without virtual reality porn, says the XXX industry. So it's really interesting because, it's not an option in any of the PlayStation stores and the VR stores to look at porn, but they feel like it should be, and that's one. And my favorite quote, let me find my favorite quote. In the end, any system that isn't compatible with VR porn will die out due to consumer dynamics. Betamax was also a Sony product, and it lost out to VHS for similar reasons.
But
I was just like...
but
that's my favorite line.
Blu-ray, I think, didn't have porn for the longest time either.
HD DVD was the chosen format by the porn industry.
Yeah.
But Disney selected Blu-ray. That's why Blu-ray.
And the real lesson here is Disney's greater than porn.
I don't know if now. Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Well, the other argument, is there a web browser on PlayStation? Or PlayStation VR?
Yeah, there is a web browser. Well, I don't know if it's built into VR, but I know there's one on PlayStation because I know people that have taken it to hotels.
I'm not going to click on this, but this article over here says Pornhub's 360-degree videos now work on PlayStation VR. Because I think that's okay. You're not going to drop a virtual bangers or whatever we were talking about on the show app on the PlayStation Store. But because they're they're not into doing adult only games, AO games, which is an actual rating by the ESRB in this country. But if you have a browser in your VR thing, then it's going to become compatible. So I think, I think it's kind of a moot point.
That, and I don't know. What are your thoughts? I mean, video game consoles have existed for how long without having?
By the way, the thumbnail is risque that popped up in the chat room. Can't show that now. I'm sorry. Yeah. There's been consoles in there. It's not. Well, there have been kind of porn games. There's been Leisure Suit Larry. There's been that weird NES game with like the guy in the cowboy hat in a 8-bit penis. No, that was an Atari game actually. So this has happened. The unlicensed games say, right?
It's fine when it's unlicensed, or it's. I mean, Leisure Suit Larry to me wasn't the equivalent of VR porn, but no. I don't know. The console world has survived, and I'm not counting PC gaming but I mean, I don't think console gaming is going to die off without some kind of porn.
And I think the porn sites actually do list PlayStation VR as an option, if I'm not mistaken. So, no, I think, this is happening. It's on every platform. There's more of them available, and you can get them easier. Vive is down to $499. Oculus is $400. The standalone Vive in here is coming out for $800. Plus you can pick up old Samsung Gear VRs for low end. Hell, you can buy that $5 visual, the viewer 360 viewer from Walmart at this point. So it's very accessible. So you can get your 360 porn, guys. Pretty on the cheap. Katie, don't worry about it. You'll get your VR porn.
Thank goodness. Give me my pie and porn.
Now, I don't know about like a full 3D thing.
Yeah.
Is that maybe what she's referring to? I don't think so, because I don't know that there's much of that these days yet.
I don't know.
That's not
You mean
even-
360 view? What are you saying? There's not much of.
No. There's 360 video VR porn, but there's not like VR as in interact. Like when I think virtual reality, I think something digital, right? Not video, right? There's
You mean like a game?
yes. Like that's not happening, and that's not going to be on the PlayStation anytime soon because they have a closed store. So it'll be interesting. Now, when that joins with Twitch, yeah, I want to get away from this article before I pull up something I'm not supposed to.
Accidentally.
Yes. Hey, I want to give a shout out to our friends at the Millvale Music Festival. I'm glad I gave them such a great lead-in. MillvaleMusic.org. Decidedly not porn. Check them out. They're coming up May 12th, 2018. Here in about a month and a half, I guess, at this point. They take over the town of Millvale. I guess, hanging out on the River Talk. They had a full studio and a band that's going to be a part of that as well. So it really does take over that town where there's a lot of cool things happening. A lot of breweries, a lot of bars, a lot of eateries. They're coming up, and you can go check out the town, check out some great music. Our affiliate, Sidekick Media Services, will be hosting a stage. Is it Element Church? Is that the one that we have? That's what we had last year, right?
Yeah, that's one that we had last year.
We were in a church.
I haven't
representing.
selected our...
You haven't? Oh, Missy's on the committee. Producer Missy's also producing part of the Millvale Music Festival. So, yes.
They do give us kind of a choice of things, but...
we're kind of around a lot. But go check that out, millvalemusic.org, and they've been doing weekly updates, checking in with the lead up to it.
Yeah, I've got weekly meetings at this point.
Yes.
So
I don't see you Wednesdays. So, all right. And so millvalemusic.org. Also, hey, this Friday, Riz Plays Games is scheduled to be in here. I don't know what we're playing, what we're doing, but we're going to be playing video games and having a lot of fun with that. I talked a little bit about some of the background on that, some of the cool things we're doing in production over on the AwesomeCast Gold if you're at that $5 Patreon level. And but you can go follow the Riz Plays Games Twitch channel, and on the side also follow Sorgatron Media on there because I've hooked up the Xbox and we're playing a little bit of Twitch, and maybe we'll do a little bit more on the Sorgatron Media channel as we kind of build that concept here. Doing all the media here out of the studio, and looking forward to building that up. And the next game night is right here in the studio, April 26th. You can join us at 6 p.m. Again, put on by our good friend Christopher Whitlatch, who usually brings a game to feature. King of Tokyo was the game that was featured. It was a lot of fun, kind of a kaiju board game kind of situation. Katie Dudas, she's going to be at Trans World.
Yeah.
Look for her out there.
In St. Louis.
In St. Louis.
Yeah, I know.
Wow. This is not your first Trans World. This is not your first horror rodeo.
Doing that horror thing. I'm so creepy. Yeah, so Kate Marie PGH. Follow me on Instagram. I'm sure it'll be interesting.
The Instagram is coming up for Katie. Awesome. Yep. John Chilla at Chilla on the Twitters.
Josh Chill on the Facebooks. And I do like the Raspberry Pis. So if they have any tasty Raspberry Pi, bring me one home.
There you go. And of course, that's Sorgatron on the Twitter. SorgatronMedia.com. A lot of great podcasts going on. A lot of fun stuff coming up. We like I say, a lot of awesome chats. We're recording a new one for next week. Some people doing some awesome thing here in the area. And also, again, please check out our friends like the broadcast. I think broadcast-podcast.com. So you can check them out, and all of our friends at riversedgepgh.com as well for all your podcasting fun. Join us next week, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on the Facebook Live. And thank you to our awesome chat room. Amanda, Brandon, Steve's in there as well. Hi, Mom. Always popping in too. Doug, I'm sure we're just giant heads on his television and on his Chromecast right now. And of course, Alex out there on the West Coast. Thanks so much. You've been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.